This is Plexi the robot. He's a PC Mini-ITX based robot. He has a bump skirt down here with switches, infrared skirt right here. These infrared detectors detect motion. As you can see, there's red lights there. Around the waist here are controllers to operate those IR sensors. There's a second one to do the switches. This board right here is for the RS485 link that connects all these boards together. Up on top here, there's 4 servos that control the iPods right here. These go up and down based on one servo, and another servo operates each of the lids. This is the control board that operates those servos, and the neck, so the head turns so they can look. There's not actually cameras in these pods, but I do have the cameras that could go inside of there and connect to the PC. Over here is power distribution. Back here you can see the Mini-ITX computer. I have a VGA display connected to that, so we can look at the software running. Down here is the batteries. It's a 12 volt 10 amp hour total battery. It's 2 12 volt batteries in parallel. Here's the power control panel with a switch, a breaker, and a charging port, so you can charge the robot up through this port here. This is one of the 2 closed loop servo motor controllers. These are J.R. Kerr engineering servo control boards, as are the I.O. boards. They're J.R. Kerr compatible. They're actually clones of the J.R. Kerr I.O. board. So all of these boards are either off the shelf or can be replaced with off the shelf items. Going back up to the head, in the back you can see the 2 speakers. It's a little bit hard to see through the plexiglass, but there's 2 speakers up there, and there's a USB port. So let's go ahead and start up his little utility. It's called NMC test. Let's see here. Here it goes. So it asks you what baud rate it is, and it's 19.2. So let me, okay, so what it does is it goes out and it finds 5 modules. There's 2 servo control modules. There's 3 I.O. modules. One I.O. module controls the switches on the bump skirt. One is for the IR sensors, and the third is on the head and controls the servo motors. And there you see the 3 I.O. modules and 2 servo modules. So let's go ahead and click on one of these here, and if I push the bump skirt, you'll notice those green circles go on and off, indicating, I'll hold it right there and you can see it, so that indicates that that board is connected to the bump skirt. If I switch the next module up and I put my hand in front of the IR sensors here, you can see those red lights going on there. Well, maybe if I do it this way you can see it. And then you look over here, you can see green lights coming on. It's actually the opposite polarity of the bump skirt, but the software takes care of adjusting for that polarity. This one right here controls the motor, and if we went ahead and put some parameters in there, the motor would go ahead and start up. What I think I'll do is I'll go ahead and I'll start the actual control software. So let's go ahead and exit out of this. You hit exit. You heard a little sound effect, and then we go ahead and say yes, and it goes ahead and resets the network. To start up the software, you just double click on this icon here, which is called Shortcut to Plexi. This is the console program written in Visual C++. So you can see the 5 modules were initialized. I'm going to show you what it's doing on the screen here, and then I'll stop the video and then we'll go back and do it showing what's happening over on the robot. He's actually moving right now. Okay, so now I'm going to restart the software and show Plexi actually operating. Sorry, my hand's shaking here. It's kind of hard to hold this camera up here. Okay. Okay. So he closes one of the lids there, and then his head turns and he looks down. He's actually not seeing anything because there's no cameras in those pods, but there could be. And then you can see the motors moving. If I go ahead and put my hand in front of here, you could see he backs up a little bit, so he's making an evasive action, and the head turns. When the body jerks there, that's because it's on a turntable. It's not because the body's actually turning. In a moment, I'll go ahead and put him on the ground and we'll do this whole thing live. So we'll put it, so that would be something in front, and he backed up, and then he's turning. If I push on the bump skirt, okay, so we'll go ahead and try Plexi on the ground. So here we see Plexi doing his autonomous motion. So he's going to go straight and look for some kind of a obstacle. I just put my hand out and he saw that. We'll go ahead and come around here and put a little obstacle in front of him. I'll just stand in front of him. And he saw me. So now he's going to go around. He pretends to be looking down to see if there's anything in front of him, but actually he's using his IR sensors and his switches to detect anything. So now he detected a little obstacle on the floor. I'm not so sure if he can make it over that cord there. Yep, there he went. So in that case, he used his bump sensor to detect that wheel, and there he goes. Now on his left side there, he's probably seeing that cabinet. He's quite a noisy character. If you buy him, you can change his sounds to something else. So you can see his head motion works, and his iPod works. And there's also lids, eyelids. Now you saw there that he saw that box there before he actually bumped into it, so his IR sensors caught that. Okay, well thank you, Plexi. Okay, we're back up on the bench here. Plexi's rattling away here. This was an ongoing project, and there's obviously plenty more to do on him. One of the things I didn't finish on Plexi is I didn't create a on and off switch. Once you start this program, you have to use the console to stop it. I'll show you how you do that. You basically just exit out of this. So you click on that and you exit out, and that stops him. But it would be nicer to have a on-off ability there. So there's our 5 modules again, and that kind of resets everything. And then we just say exit, and that goes ahead and resets the network. So Plexi uses Windows XP, and as I mentioned, his program is written in Visual C++. It was version 6.0, but I believe you can load it on newer versions of Visual C++. It's a very simple program. I think it's only maybe 500 lines long, and it's very easy to understand. It is based on the software that J.R. Kerr supplies, so that can be updated as he supplies newer libraries. Plexi comes with complete documentation. I was very careful to gather all schematics and data sheets and software. So everything's in these 4 3-ring binders. A 19-inch LCD display is included, a wireless keyboard and a wireless mouse, and 2 cameras. Currently the Mini-ITX board that's inside of Plexi is not powerful enough to run a camera. It can probably run 1 camera, but 2 it couldn't, and I'm not sure how you would actually use 2 cameras, but you could mount them in the iPods that I have on him, and so I'm including those. Another important thing is the power supply. This is more than just a charger. You can actually run Plexi off of this because it puts out 6 amps. Plexi runs about 2 hours on a battery charge, and so he goes pretty well on 1 battery charge, but you can also run him indefinitely on the charger. I'm going to show you one of these manuals here just to give you an idea of what these look like. So this is a block diagram of Plexi. I have drawings of all the parts. This is the mounts for all the boards. Here's a diagram of the iPods. And if we go back here, there's notes that I made on connector layouts. And here's the power panel wiring and the servo motor wiring. So this one right here is the RS422, or it's actually RS485 cable. That's the wiring for that, and you can see I got all the stuff numbers on. This last one over here, volume 3, actually, part of it just fell out there. This is all the software that goes with Plexi, and so all of the source files are in this, on these discs here, and then there's some other extra things in here too. So this is all included with the purchase of Plexi. Okay, it's time to say goodbye to Plexi. I'm going to go ahead and shut him down from the console here. And we'll hear him. That's it. That was him saying goodbye.